Hello everyone. As most of you might have already heard about this or might have already know about this, that is ACCA has changed the examination scoring pattern for strategic optional papers. That is your APM, AFM, AAA, and ATX paper. So for these particular papers, the question paper and the marking scheme has been slightly changed. So this video I'll cover about what are those marking changes and what you should be learning new to pass the examination with good scores. So as you can see on the screen, so changes to the optional examinations that are there in the ACCA papers, only in the optional papers. SBR and SBL do not come under optional papers. Okay, so see what this change is all about. From September 2022 onwards, that means examinations conducted in September 2022 and onwards, we will be introducing professional skills marks into ACCA Strategic Professional Options exams. These changes will help prepare you for the role of finance professionals, your employability, and ensure the ACCA qualification continues to meet the needs of the profession. So sir, basically you know that ACCA already has EPSM module, ethics and professional skills module. So those professional skills which are already taught, which are already covered in the EPSM module, they are now being tested in APM, AAA, AFM and ATX papers. That is the first change. Now, sir, aren't there already professional marks in the professional papers, the strategic level papers? Yes, you used to have 4 marks. Strategic level, you used to have only 4 marks for professional presentation. Now that has been changed. Instead of 4 marks, you will have 20 marks. 20 marks for professional skills. So 80 marks is your regular examination and 20 marks will be your professional skills, professional aspect. So what are those professional skills that are tested for 20 marks in each of the paper? Let's discuss about that. So you can see here, they gave you some overview video which I'm going to skip. So what will be the changes that are going to be introduced? First one, the options exams, only the optional papers, will have 20 marks awarded for professional skills, which will be demonstrated throughout the exam, not just one part of the question, throughout the exam. The exam duration will remain the same. That means, sir, this is a big advantage for the students. Why? Because in the same time, 3 hours 15 minutes, instead of attempting 100 marks, you will be now attempting only 80 marks. That means you are going to have the same time to attempt for lesser marks in the examination, which means that you can present more, you can write your answers in a more detailed manner, which is good. Okay, so the exam duration will remain the same, allowing you to more effectively manage your exam time to answer the 80 marks instead of 100 marks allotted for showing mastery of your technical specialism that you have obtained, basically your subject knowledge. The changes will be incorporated from September 2022 in the following exams. What are those? You have your AAA, AFM and APM. So for these 3 papers, September 2022 onwards, these professional skills will be examined. And for ATX paper, from June 2023 onwards, the professional skills 20 marks will be added. So for AAA, AFM and APM, which most of the students choose, September 2022 onwards, professional skills will be tested for 20 marks. Now, what are those professional skills that are tested? So you can see the professional skills being assessed, these will be same as those that are currently being assessed in the SBL examination, but they will be tailored. That means they will be modified to reflect the specialist content being assessed in each of the optional exams. Sir, basically they're trying to tell you these professional skills are already tested in SBL. Same 4 professional skills will also be tested in APM, AFM and AAA, but the method of testing them will be slightly different, because in AFM and APM it cannot be same like in AAA. So the way they test this knowledge, the way they test these skills, professional skills, will be slightly different. We'll see more about it. Each of the 4 professional skills has a number of leadership capabilities associated with it. The strategic professional examinations will use these capabilities to allocate marks in each exam question as appropriate. What are those 4 professional skills, sir? You can see on the screen. The first one is communication skills. Second one is commercial acumen. Third one is analysis and evaluation. Fourth one is skepticism and judgment. Let me give you a small brief about all these 4 words. The first one is communication skills. Whether you are using the proper structured format for explaining your answer or not, whether you are dividing it into paragraphs, appropriate level of content is there in each paragraph. Your paragraph should not be too much, it should not be too small. Relevant content should be subclassified with side headings. A proper format has to be followed when you are preparing a report. Let's say in APM you are writing a report to the board of directors, you are writing a report to the CEO of the company, then you have to use professional words. If you are writing a report to the shareholders, then again you'll have to use layman language, because shareholders might not understand everything. So communication, this professional skill, what ACCA is trying to test is whether you are able to communicate properly to the addressed people. If it is addressed to the shareholders, whether you are using appropriate terms. If you are addressing it to the auditors, how are you addressing it? Whether you are using the professional jargon or not. That is tested in communication, right? First one. Second one, commercial acumen. Whether do you have business knowledge or not. Commercial acumen means business common sense. Okay, so let me expand that, because this is a new word for most of you. Demonstrate awareness of the business, recognize the key issues and use judgment, show insight. Sir, can you give more detailed information about this? Understand, most of the professional examinations are not just most, all of your professional examinations are mostly case study based, right? AAA, AFM, APM, case study based. So they give you a case of a company, they give you the scenario that is happening in the company, and they expect you to explain that, right? For example, if I take APM, so in APM what would be the situation? They would give you a case of a company, what is happening in the company, where they are doing good, what they are doing bad, what is the issues that are being faced, and they ask you, this company is trying to implement just in time, or this company is trying to implement TQM, or this company is trying to maybe say go with Six Sigma strategy. So you usually, what you do, sir, you give the pros and cons of those particular technique and then you explain the answer. But commercial acumen, professional skills will be given only to those students who can align their knowledge that they already have. They know what is Six Sigma, but not just that. Whether do you understand, are you aware of this particular business or not? Do you really understand what is happening in the company, and in this company what happens if I implement Six Sigma? In this company, for this particular industry, in this particular case, will Six Sigma work or not? So you are expected to show awareness of the industry, understanding the case study, applying the knowledge to that particular case study. Do not give generic answer, you will not get professional marks. Suppose if you just start writing about these are the advantages of Six Sigma, these are the disadvantages of Six Sigma, these are the prerequisites of Six Sigma. If a company wants to implement Six Sigma, they have to have this checklist. No, that is not commercial acumen. You are only giving subject knowledge, technical knowledge. Commercial acumen means where you are able to apply these Six Sigma concepts to the given case study, to the given company or not. That is commercial acumen. That is the second professional skill. Third one is analysis and evaluation, where you are able to properly analyze the given scenario or not, where you're missing out on any facts. Is your thinking ideology is in the correct direction of what the examiner is trying to communicate to you or not? Okay, are you taking appropriate assumptions while framing your judgments and conclusions or not? That is covered under analysis and evaluation, whether you are able to investigate in detail or not. Usually this will be more appropriate for AAA paper, whether you have considered all the proper assumptions. This might be also applicable for AFM students. Suppose imagine a situation where they gave you an international NPV appraisal question. So you are supposed to do foreign exchange, hedging, all that stuff, whatever is appropriate in the given question. So were you considering the risk factors associated with that or not? So whether you are thinking from all possible perspectives or not, are you having a bird's eye view or not? assess up and apply the given scenario, given situations to the given scenario. Whether you are able to appraise means what, sir? Suppose they give you 3 or 4 alternatives. So in these 4, which is the most suitable one for that particular company, where you are able to appraise all those available options or not. Usually AFM students might know this. You will be given 3 or 4 alternative investment proposals, and then you are supposed to appraise which is the most suitable investment criteria for that company. That could be there. And then comes skepticism. 99% students might be thinking, sir, isn't skepticism applicable only for AAA paper and AA paper? Not necessarily, my dear friends. Skepticism means having a questioning mind. So even in APM, even in AFM also, you must have a proper questioning mind. You should have the critically assessing the scenario mindset. Okay, so in AFM, imagine a situation where they asked you to appraise a particular project, and you started calculating using NPV, and later you realized, okay, not NPV, we are supposed to use APV, adjusted present value in that case. Okay, fine, you started doing APV calculation. Now professional skepticism or skepticism and judgment in professional skills is basically testing whether you are able to challenge or you are able to question the assumptions taken in that. Okay, suppose if I talk about M&M approach, Modigliani and Miller approach, so in that there is an inherent assumption that debt is always risk free. So as a student, you should have a questioning mind. Is really debt always risk free? If debt is really risk free, why did Adani face all the issues that they had when their why did Adani's bonds get delisted in the foreign markets, in the European markets? Adani share price dropped down, okay, agreed. Why did Adani share price dropping down in Indian market affects its bonds which are listed in European markets? Aren't bonds debt, and debt is risk free? So this is how you should have a questioning mind. Sir, if debt is really risk free, then Adani's bonds should not have dropped down, right? They should not have been delisted from European stock exchanges. So debt is not always risk free. This is how you should start having a professional skepticism or a questioning mindset even in AFM paper. M&M approach says debt is risk free, but then we have a real life case studies where debt is not actually risk free. So that is skepticism, questioning mind. Given assumptions should be questioned, and then that doesn't mean you start challenging all the assumptions that are required or all the information under the facts given in the question. Do not question the question, sir. Simple knowledge, simple concept. Don't question the question. What we are trying to say is use questioning mindset while evaluating the pros and cons, or else while giving when you are taking the assumptions, have a questioning mind and say that, okay, this is an underlying assumption based on which the problem has been solved, but there could be challenges for this particular assumption. Simple. Okay, so these are the 4 professional skills that are tested in strategic optional papers: communication, commercial acumen, analysis and evaluation, and skepticism and judgment. Now if I scroll down a little, see here, support resources are added by ACCA, and they have covered for each paper how these professional skills will be marked. For each paper, how it will be tested in AFM, how it will be tested in APM, how it will be tested in AAA. I would recommend you go and refer to that if you do not find this generic idea sufficient enough for you to understand, because these are going to have 20 marks for your examination. So please pay perfect attention to these particular areas. Okay, so for students who have enrolled with GFX for these papers, AFM, APM and AAA, what I would do is, at the end of your curriculum, after your entire course is done, your all the videos and all those stuff is done, at the end of the course I'll add a new video for each paper, for AFM related, for AAA related, APM related, a particular video on how to use these professional skills in your particular examination. This will be added at the end of your course. The reason why we are adding it at the end of the course is that would be very relevant when you are going close to sit for your examination. So professional skills, even if I tell you at the beginning of the course, you might learn it and you might understand it, but by the end of the course you will forget about it. So by the end of the course, if I talk to you about these professional skills, then you will have a good remembrance and you will have proper mindset before you start going to the examination. So I'll add these particular professional skills at the end of the topic. This introductory generic video will be there at the beginning of the course. Specific to your paper will be there at the end of the course. So beginning and ending both are covered. So you'll have a complete full-fledged idea about it. So that is about your professional skills, newly added 20 marks for strategic optional papers in ACCA. Alright, so that is from my side. If you have any further queries, you can reach out to us. What I'll do is I'll put it in the description how you can contact us, Global Finex WhatsApp number and email ID. Just in case if you have any queries, feel free to reach us back. Okay, this is for those who are watching this video on YouTube. For GFX students, we already have our contact details. You can reach us any point of time. Alright guys, so I'll see you soon with another video. Until then, keep smiling, take care, bye bye.